Hi, my name is Jessica Johan, and today I'm going to be talking about the classroom assessment technique number 46 from the Classroom Assessment Technique Handbook written by Angelo and Cross. This technique is called RSQC2. Now, you may be wondering what this stands for. It stands for recall, summarize, question, connect, and comment. Let's define what these words mean. So recall is getting students to determine the most important information. Next, we have summarize, summing up what the recalled information is in a few short sentences. Next, we have question, taking down any questions that they may still have about the lesson. Connect, making connections to the purpose of the lesson or the purpose of the course or beyond. And then finally, we have comment. What was enjoyed the most or the least? This is the section that can kind of be set up by different prompts from the instructor. Similarly, all these tools can be set up with prompts as well. And then after you collect all this information from the tools, you want to make sure to collect what your students have been saying. Now, that being said, it kind of leads into the best practices for this strategy. By collecting that information, you can compare and contrast the patterns and similarities in students' assessments. Another best practice is to allow enough time for students to think thoughtfully about their responses. When you begin this strategy, you might find that the students need more time to, let's say, recall the information or to summarize it. If you repeat the strategy over and over throughout your course, you might find that students are getting a little bit quicker in their abilities. So you may allow for less time and maybe more time for questions. You really have to play it out. The last best practice for the strategy is to decide what kind of outcome you as an instructor are looking for. This will help keep focus when practicing this tool. I'd like to talk about when this tool would work best. Bouncing off what I just said, completing this tool as an instructor could help you determine what the focus is for this tool being used in your class. Another best way this tool can be used is to get students prepared for this ahead of class time. Sometimes springing up something like this on them during class can be a bit overwhelming. You want to prepare them that they will have to be focused and be attentive when practicing these steps. Of course, moving forward, every student should be, but letting them know beforehand can set them up for the most success and you for the most success in your results. This can be a successful tool for all class types, high level, low level, online, anything in between. But I think that this could be super successful with students that are new to the education system. So whether that they've been out of school for a really long time, or maybe they're coming from high school and entering a secondary education. And lastly, this works best to keep engagement up with using one or all parts of the tool. That being said, I just wanted to show kind of different ways that this technique can be used. So of course, you can use all 5 steps in this tool, or you can alternatively use 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 steps. So for example, you can have the students just comment. Again, you can set up comment by using certain prompts to create focus in what your outcome will be for this strategy. You could also get the students to maybe recall and summarize as a 2-step process instead of the entire 5-step process. There are many advantages of using this tool. For example, memory skills, focus skills, concentration skills, studying skills, being able to get your students curious, and utilizing the information. Now, there's also an advantage to instructor development, which is management skills, being able to really suss out what the students need and what parts of this technique will work best for what lesson. There are a couple limitations of this tool as well. The first is that it can be quite time-consuming. Second, if it's not used effectively, it can be looked at as a waste of time. And thirdly, the data collected can sometimes be overwhelming if there is no focus. There are also a couple different ways to deliver feedback. So, one is the summary of responses, sharing what the class had in common, what their outcomes were. And I think that's really important to get the students to understand how everyone else is also thinking. Second, I have answer what you must. So maybe you elaborate on the most common questions, comments, and connections, but get the students to get curious about and discuss the solutions with the remaining unsolved topics. And lastly, I have be repetitive. Use this cat over and over again to make sure that the learners are getting used to this technique. To end off this presentation, I'm going to leave you with a quote by Herbert Spencer. It is the great aim of education is not knowledge, but action. And I think that this tool is a really great example of how to action a lot of great skills. That's all I have for you for this assessment technique. Here are some resources and hope you have a great day. Thanks for listening.